All right, news just broke a little bit ago that Za'Darius Smith is retired. Now, I'm not surprised by this. I know a lot of you probably are, but I'm not. I've stuck in, I've dug my heels in since day one, and just felt like Za'Darius Smith was never a fit for Detroit. But let's talk about it all right now. Let's get this all off our chest and be done.
Pressured by Hutchinson, he goes down again.
All right. According to Ian Rappaport just a little bit ago, Za'Darius Smith announced on Instagram that he would be retiring. It is final. He's done. And let's take a look here at Yahoo Sports. They've also printed a article already. Za'Darius Smith announces retirement after 11 seasons in the NFL. Goes on to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles pass rusher. Za'Darius Smith announced his retirement on Instagram on Monday. That Smith signed with the Eagles in September after splitting last season between Cleveland and Detroit. In 5 games of this season, Smith had 1.5 sacks and 3 solo tackles. Man, that sounds like such great production, right? Za'Darius said, "I knew this day would come, but now that it's here, I'm feeling so many emotions I never expected. Who would have thought that a kid from Greenville, Alabama, with just 1 year of high school football experience would go on to play professional football in the NFL for 11 incredible seasons?" I will say that, of course, we appreciated all of Za'Darius Smith's time in Detroit. Anything that I say today is not directed towards Za'Darius Smith at all. Look, he had an incredible career. Let's just call it what it is. He had an incredible career. Anyone to play 11 seasons in the NFL, that's simply amazing. And the fact that he was able to help us last season when we were down and out and we just didn't have anything left, man. We were down to our, 7th, 8th edge rusher and 15 plus injuries on the defensive side of the football. We needed some help, and Z came in and he won the hearts and minds of Detroit Lions fans. Of course, we wanted to see him, rejoin and play with Aiden this year. But then once that big contract, was understood and what was going to happen, I knew right away that this wasn't going to be a good fit. There's no way that Brad Holmes was going to pay that kind of money. However, there was a bigger thing for me, and that was I kept telling everybody, look, this guy is a third down pass rusher. He's not playing all downs. He's not the same player that he used to be. And just because he had a little bit of success in Detroit last season doesn't mean that he's just some all-star pass rusher anymore. He had a couple of really great seasons in the NFL. Beyond that, he was fairly consistent, for several more, but nothing like super elite, for 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons in a row. So again, I dug my heels in. I said, anyone that's just going to be a third down pass rusher, that's not going to work in Detroit. These guys have to earn the right to pass rush the quarterback, and Brad and Dan have all told you guys that. You need to be a 3-down player in Detroit. Matter of fact, it's more of being a 4-down player now. You need to be able to go. You can't just be playing 15, 20% of the snaps and expecting to get, to the glory stats, which is getting after the passer. I knew that, right? I could tell what was going on. And this is not about me versus you, right? Yeah, this is a little bit of receipts here because I've told you all from day one it wasn't going to happen. And the only way it was going to happen is if it was after week 1, because then his contract wasn't guaranteed for these things right here: retirement, injury, whatever, right? He's too old. It was too expensive. It didn't make sense. But, I kept hearing things like this, people clapping back, people firing back, sign Z. And I'm scanning through the internet, right? Let's just take a look at the internet real quick and just see like how polarizing of an issue this really was in Detroit. Like, this is just crazy of how polarizing. Just a month ago, right? I'm not going to say the names. You guys, you know who these people are. Consistent. I mean, that's all they talk about. That's all they talk about. But I kept hearing things like this, man. I mean, it was nuts. Oh, Z's coming back. Z's rumored. Z's coming back. Yada, 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 right? Lions preparing to sign Za'Darius Smith. I mean, just a bunch of horse crap consistently. People just pushing for clicks. That's all they do. But then we started to hear things like this, which this is what really got me fired up and kind of ticked off.
Stupid. If you don't think that adding Za'Darius Smith to this team makes you a better chance of winning the Super Bowl, you're stupid. If you don't want the Lions to go out and get Za'Darius Smith, you're stupid. He is a good player that would help this team that's in a window to win a Super Bowl. Objectively acting like you don't want him on this team or he's not good enough to be on this team is just ridiculous and dumb. If they don't get him, I'm not going to freak out, but I'm going to be like, okay, all right, Marcus Davenport, we got to believe in him for sure this time.
It's not the end of the world if he doesn't sign.
Okay, so there you go. That's what got me all fired up and pissed off, is when people try to clap back at you for your takes and they put stuff like that out. So who's the one that's stupid today? Who's the one that looks dumb? Right? And again, this is not the norm for me. This is not the kind of content I like to do. But there's a reason why we work our ass off here, and that is so that we can try to get some things right and try to get this fan base back together again, because it is a clear divide, man. It's like politics up in Detroit. You've got the SOL on one side, you've got the new fans on another, and then you've got all the dedicated diehards right in the middle, and you're just hearing it from both sides, right? Our goal here is to give you the truth, the honesty, and the transparency, and try to get you a good pulse on what's going on with the team. It's unfortunate, right, that things didn't work out for Za'Darius Smith in his career with, end of his career with Philadelphia. It's unfortunate. But again, go look at his stats. Go look at his snaps. There's a reason why Rockhound Detroit Lions didn't feel like it was going to be a good fit. And that is your answer. Your answer is he wasn't good enough to be in Detroit. He wasn't stable enough. Clearly, he was going to retire. Yeah, Brad said they kept in contact, and then Brad said at one point, yeah, really not a whole lot of dialogue there. So tell me, who was the smart team that paid $9 million to just have this player retire? And now you're a third of the way through the season, and you have to find another pass rusher. We got two of ours still coming back. I think that we're the smarter team. I think that we look a lot smarter for doing what we've done. And I can only thank Brad for doing that, right? I mean, he's done an excellent job at what he's done. Trust the process, everybody. Whether you listen to me, care what I say, agree with what I say or not, this one we got right. And we got right because it never made sense. But to tell me and to tell the rest of the Lions fans that they're effing stupid and that they're effing dumb, who's got the pie on the face today? That's all I'm going to say.
Pressured by Hutchinson, he goes down.